Wyn Pearson is the musical director of Cinderella. I met up with him in his makeshift recording studio in the back room of the church hall where they were rehearsing. I asked him first how the whole process got started.
We have a meeting, usually at the beginning of the summer. We get our heads together once Phil has got his first draft of the script. He'll give me a list of where the numbers go, and then we'll start chatting about what's current, because we like to put the odd pop song in from the year. And we also like to mix it up with some of the older traditional stuff, which we've always done, certainly since I've been preparing the music here, you know. Then we have a few weeks of humming and hawing about, yeah, I like this, no, I don't like that, Phil says he likes this, something I won't like, you know, usual thing.
You do the humming, he does the humming.
He does, yeah, we're a double act, yeah, you should come and see us. It goes on from there, but we like to keep our options open a little bit as well, because I mean there's still a number that we haven't picked yet. We haven't picked the love duet for Cinders and the Prince yet, because
so the final score is right up at the last minute.
Yeah, I mean we like to see what's current, because obviously you've got X Factor going on and all that kind of thing. We want to know what the big hit's going to be from that, and we might include that in the show, you know. Watch this space.
So how much time is involved for you? I mean, how many weeks a year do you spend in preparation? You're here, what, 3 weeks?
I'm here for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Because obviously we've got 3 weeks rehearsal and then the tech week,
right,
where we get into the theatre. But no, I don't know, I suppose if you added it up, 9 to 5, it's probably about 3 weeks solid prep. You know, it's quite a big...
And you do everything, you do all the orchestration.
Yeah. I mean, it starts life on a computer, you know. I've gone on the days where the process starts with a pen and paper.
Do you long for those old days?
No, because my eyesight's not what it used to be, you know. No, I've got 2 pieces of software that are kind of my life, really. One is a program called Logic, which I put the tracks together, the rehearsal tracks, so the actual music, the sound, if you like, comes from Logic. And then I use another program called Sibelius, which I use for notating the dots for the band. And once it's in the computer, you can change the key at the push of a button, you can copy and paste sections, cut bits out.
So anybody can do it, really?
Oh yeah, anyone can do it. Probably for less money than me. Don't print that. Yeah.
But I mean, I remember, because I used to, a lot of people who were MDs, and I saw them working, and a good MD can write a whole score of, you know, whatever, 15, 20 parts. Just
Yeah. I mean, I can do that, you know. I mean, well,
but
it's the same thing for me. I'm just doing it on a screen.
Yeah, but it's the same with writing. It's the same if you write. The pen and paper is different from a computer.
It flows slightly better.
And you obviously grew up and learnt on the pen and paper. Do you not miss those days, or longing to go back to?
Listen, if you go and have a look in my laptop case, there's a ream of manuscript paper there, just in case, and a freshly tipped pencil.
But how has working with computers changed? I mean, obviously made it easier and quicker.
The rehearsal process is different now because of the technology.
Because you don't have a live pianist or anything. It's all on tape.
He comes in week 3.
But it's basically all on tape.
For the rehearsals, yeah. And then
that's not the original score though. It's the final score.
Yeah. Well, what we do is I will then. Well, as you know, we have a 3-piece band: keys, bass, and drums, stroke, percussion.
Which sounds like it could do more.
Well, exactly, because we use what we call click tracks, which is what everyone does these days, and I basically remove the drums, bass and keyboards that we've been using on the tracks in rehearsals, and the band play along with what's left on the track, which is why you get all these glorious strings and French horns and oboes and thunderclaps. They're quite often on the tracks as opposed to cued from the sound desk. Some are on the track. So it's a very technological show. It's more technological than it sounds,
but much more effective.
Otherwise
in the old days you get a piano, bass and drums, and that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, or you've got a massive budget and you pay 10 guys,
and it still doesn't sound as good.
And it's still not going to sound as big as that, because the strings that I'm using were recorded in Hollywood. In fact, they're called Hollywood strings.
Right.
You know, I mean, what are you going to do? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? You know.
Basic track, you do all of it.
I do all of it from scratch.
So there's no drummer or bass player involved, you do it all?
I program all of that for the rehearsals, and
then the drummer and the bass player have to learn it?
And I write it out for them on my computer.
Sibelius
writes it out for me, but Sibelius will only print what I tell it to. I've still got to sit there and put the notes in. But you
can get software that transposes from a score, can't
you? You can get software that will read a score and convert it to an electronic score.
But will it write a score? Can you get software that will write? Well,
computers do write stuff out for you, but they write it like a computer, not like a human would write it. So it's often unreadable. Well, it's readable, but it's not good practice.
No.
You know?
It still happens, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I have worked with MDs that, because they're not very good readers, they just printed off what the computer does and they put it in front of me, and I, as a guitarist, I sit there and say, what do you want me to do with that? I haven't got a clue, it's unreadable. Because the computers put it together. So you have got to mess about with it. You can put the basics in, but you've still got to sit there and make it look readable. You know, there's no easy fix.